here we are once again. We're on our ship, we're in New Atlantis. We acquired some guns, we upgraded the guns, and got on missions there. I'm pretty sure we have more than that.
Welcome back. Did you find your answers?
This mission wasn't for us, it was for the soldiers who own these Gentax.
And we did it for the child that was marooned there. A child, born from two of the crew, that survived the crash. After her parents died. That poor girl spent years surviving on that hostile world, alone. We abandoned her, Admiral. We let her down.
I'm sorry. I had no idea. How could we have possibly known? The mission was handled poorly. One thing that I can assure you is that the names of these men and women will never be forgotten. I'll see to it personally.
Thank you, Admiral.
Good luck to both of you. It's been an honor.
Once we're done here, we should have a little talk with Sona. Poor thing's waiting for us at the lodge.
So we gotta speak to Sona, I guess. Yes.
We should probably talk.
Yeah, sure.
Do you like it here, Sona?
At the lodge? Yeah, this place is huge. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. You must be like a bazillionaire, Sarah.
Oh, don't I wish? This place isn't mine alone. It belongs to everyone who's a part of Constellation. And I think it should belong to you too, Sona. I want you to stay here and make this your home.
Whoa. Does that mean I get to go exploring with both of you? Or wait, do I get my own ship?
Not yet, you still have a lot to learn, Sona.
Exactly. And this is the perfect place to begin your education.
I understand. Oh, and don't worry, I learn real fast, so you better get ready to have another member of Constellation signing on for missions.
I can't wait.
Well, anyway, thanks for letting me stay here. I promise I won't let either of you down.
Look at this. All these people,
Yeah.
their entire lives distilled down to names on a memorial. I wonder how close I came to being reduced to just a name.
You should be proud of everything that you've accomplished since the war.
I am proud. I was simply too foolish to realize it until you changed my perspective.
I only say these things because I really care about you.
And I care about you too. There's obviously some kind of a connection between us that I think we need to discuss. Just let me have another moment here, and then we can head over to the waterfall. so we can talk in private. Roger, too much. I love coming to this spot to just sort of, I don't know, melt away for a while. If you'll just bear with me, I promise I'll explain everything. I definitely feel more comfortable here than anywhere else I've ever been.
Yeah, it's the perfect place to share with someone you care about.
I hadn't thought of it that way. But you're absolutely
Don't
right.
look at me.
I usually come up here to mull over some of the heated debates we have at Constellation. You'd be surprised how many decisions I've made on this very spot. Anyway, I didn't ask you up here to admire the scenery. I asked you up here because I wanted to talk about something very important.
You can tell me whatever is on your mind,
Good,
Sarah.
because I have a lot to say. It's about my return to Cassiopeia. What we learned about Sona has been constantly replaying in my mind. Maybe it sounds crazy, but that young girl's isolation feels like a reflection of my own life.
Do you think so?
In all honesty, I don't. She simply reminds me of my own isolation. Maybe not in the literal sense of the word, but I certainly relate to some of her loneliness.
Loneliness. Both of you have been through a lot.
Don't get me wrong. Compared to Sona, I've had it easy. I've spent my life surrounded by all sorts of people. Constellation, the Navigator Corps. Hell, even the UC military. Despite that, no matter how hard I've tried to make them a part of my life, they tend to drift away and disappear.
Dealing with the unpredictability of people can be a challenge.
I suppose. Well, if that's true, this challenge is wearing me down.
Forget the past, just focus on what you have right now.
Right now? Are you talking about Constellation? Or what exactly are you saying?
I'm saying that I care about you and I wanna be with you.
Sorry, I just need a moment to gather my thoughts. From things you've said in the past, it's obvious you want to have a serious relationship. You want to become close. So, if you're willing to take that leap of faith with someone like me, then I'm ready to do the same.
I have been more than willing for a long time.
You're something truly special. You know that? You've helped me conquer my self-doubt, my confidence, hell, everything. For the first time in my life, I feel complete. And with you by my side, I'm convinced that feeling will last forever. You're the best thing that's happened to me in my life. I love you. Always.
Why are you giving me money? What?
Hey there, sleepyhead. What's the matter? Did I wear you out?
sometime in the next half-century, eliminating all life on the planet. Decisive action was required, but the secure transport of an entire civilization would demand a new kind of cooperation, a new kind of courage, and a new kind of union. Thus, in 2159, the United Colonies were formed to make that journey possible. Just 1 year later, the Galileo, the first of many colony ships, touched down here on Jemison, beginning a new era of human history, the age of the United Colonies. From their foundation, the United Colonies strove to provide all their citizens with opportunity, security, and peace. But there were those among the UC that still wanted something more: independence. So in 2161, the UC issued the Centaurus Proclamation, granting UC citizens the right to settle distant worlds and form their own sovereign powers. It wasn't long before the first new faction, the Free Star Collective, was formally organized in 2188, later followed by House Varun, revealing themselves to the universe in 2230.
The result of the Centaurus Proclamation has always left me torn. So much conflict arose as a result. Was it worth it?
In 2240, House Varun forces declared all-out war on the rest of human civilization, initiating the Serpent's Crusade. Over the next 23 years, thousands of Freestar, UC, and independent souls were killed by agents of House Varun in the name of their serpent god. It was only with the death of their founder in 2263 and the succession of his heir, Jarek, that House Varun finally sued for peace. There remains, however, select members of House Varun who refuse to recognize the cessation of hostilities their leaders established. Even after House Varun's mysterious disappearance, these zealots remain a threat to all who encounter them. Their pacification, a goal of all space. Of the many conflicts between the galaxy's factions, none was more brutal than the recent colony war between the UC and the Freestar Collective. Set off by the unauthorized Freestar colonization of Vesta's Pride in 2308, a direct violation of the Nerion Treaty, the colony war spread quickly across the galaxy. Both sides deployed every tool at their disposal: armadas of warships, mechanized combat platforms, or mechs, even bioengineered alien creatures, the infamous UC xeno-weapons. It was only in 2311 at the Battle of Cheyenne that the scales finally tipped, the Freestar Collective, utilizing their civilian fleet as a human shield, successfully crippled the superior United Colonies Navy. After their shocking victory against the galaxy's greatest navy, the Freestar Collective offered terms of peace, which the colonies, out of an interest in staving off any further human costs, accepted. The galaxy has been rebuilding ever since.
The colony war was a horrible conflict that irreparably wounded the settled systems. There were times I felt that it would never end.
Few settled worlds were left untouched by the colony war. But nowhere could the viciousness of modern warfare be seen more clearly than on the Freestar planet of Nira. Initially occupied by invading United Colonies forces as a forward operating position, repeated attempts to take and retake the planet by collective forces led only to devastation. Swaths of the world were transformed into scorched husks, a nightmarish testament to the depths of human ingenuity and human cruelty. And today, Nira remains a continuing reminder to the horrors of unfettered war.
I can't stop staring at it. A real terramorph.
In the midst of the colony war, a different kind of tragedy struck the UC city of Londinian. A newly constructed but critical supply center for the United Colonies' war effort, Londinian found itself overrun by one of the galaxy's most mysterious predators, the Terramorph. A rare but pervasive threat to all human-settled worlds, Terramorphs swept over the city, seemingly out of nowhere, on a scale never before seen in recorded history. Valiant efforts by the UC military slowed the onslaught, but the creatures proved unstoppable.
Dad wanted me to apply for the administration
Ultimately,
track at school,
the decision was made to destroy the Londinian spaceport, sealing off the city,
Science division or
the outbreak, and its citizenry from the galaxy at large. The tragedy of Londinian is mourned by the UC to this day. After the devastation wrought by the colony war, the UC and the Freestar Collective came together to ratify a treaty that became known as the Armistice. Both sides agreed to a vast reduction in standing forces, and that xeno-weapons and mech warfare would be outlawed. All related research was sealed away, accessible only in cases of dire emergency. But the Collective had another demand, that the active commanders of the UC military stand trial for their actions. The United Colonies, in the interest of peace and galactic security, agreed. In 2311, 3 United Colonies senior officers were found guilty. Commander Henry Durant, General Indira Rastogi, and Fleet Admiral Francois Sanon, known better as Ve Victus. All were sentenced to death for their actions, bringing the colony war to a close and returning peace to the galaxy at long last.
I was a strong supporter of the armistice. All of the terrible weapons that both sides used against one another. It had to end.
It was into this new world that the Vanguard was born. An official branch of the UC Navy, the Vanguard is the United Colonies Volunteer Fleet, serving a myriad of security, logistical, and reconnaissance roles. And after a sufficient length of service, UC citizenship is guaranteed to every Vanguard member. Open to all captains, regardless of origin, the Vanguard is leading the charge to protect and support the citizens of the United Colonies, wherever in the galaxy they may be. Citizen. Only through service to the UC can one hope to earn one's citizenship. But the UC prides itself on taking care of its people. cost of living controls mean citizens pay less than their foreign counterparts for needs big and small. All citizens are issued a grant upon joining to get themselves on their feet. And only UC citizens have the opportunity to purchase property, getting the chance to live in one of the most beautiful cities in the settled systems. By joining the Vanguard today, you too can begin earning your place here, in the heart of galactic civilization, as a citizen of the United Colonies.
Spent a fair bit of time in simulators just like these. They're startlingly realistic. Have fun.
Of course. You'll be running through a high-realism combat flight simulation, engineered by members of the UC science staff, right here in Mast. Your task is to defeat at least 3 tiers of simulated opponents. Accomplish that and you pass the exam, and can then proceed on to your probationary mission. However, if you defeat more than 3 tiers of enemies, your required enlistment time for citizenship will be reduced, and your enlistment bonus increased. But you're welcome to try as many times as you like before returning to Commander Tuala to proceed on to the next step in your application process. We'll only keep the highest score you manage to achieve in there. All right then. This is the Mark 18 Flight Simulation Chamber applicant, currently in orbit around a high-detail recreation of a remote world. When you're ready to begin, please take a seat in the pilot's chair. Your exam is simple. Defeat as many tiers of opponents as you can before your ship is disabled. You must defeat at least 3 tiers of opponents to pass the exam. Good hunting, applicant.
New targets active.
inside the cockpit. Congratulations, applicant. You've passed. You can head up to Commander Tuwala to receive your final results and your probationary assignment. Or good showing in there, applicant.
I've been reading. It's good stuff.
You should get some exercise.
I've spent my whole life in a book. I'm fine.
And how has that worked out?
Ouch. Touché.
We are going for a walk later.
Do I have news?
Oh, your father has been as anxious as a kid on Christmas.
Anyway, so you know about my card game, right? Been playing for years. Do I? Well, I was in the game of my life. Me and another lady, we went all in and then some. After I called, she had 4 of a kind, queens. But I had an honest-to-God straight flush.
Honey, he doesn't need to hear the play-by-play.
This is my moment. So finally, I won. I won big, the biggest pot of my life. You better believe it. But the big kicker is, I won myself a ship. A real starship.
It's real, sweetie. We went to the docks and looked at it and everything.
Well, there's no way I'll ever fly it. So we had no idea what to do with the damn thing. And then it came to me. You. Your expression makes it totally worth it. All the paperwork's already been taken care of. Keep it, sell it, I don't care what you do with it. I just hope it makes up for all the money you keep sending home.
Sandra contacted me.
Autocargo. Okay.
Being serious.
You worked on that for days. Are we looking for solutions
Flamenco.
or sympathy?
Flamenco.
Fred from the poker group said
Or
90%
we could do
of all
salsa.
marital strife would go
The
away if you just
activity will do
know
you
whether you
good.
need to offer help
Oh,
or
yes.
a friendly
Anything.
ear. Then that Regina is a monster. There ought to be a law.
Sometime.
I figured it would be years until I saw you again. And here you are.